Hi everyone, this is Kenzie. Wash my hands? Why? Just because I pissed? Before we get into the best Gundam trilogy ever conceived somewhat, let me give you a roadmap because I know it takes me a while every time I vomit onto this gay-ass platform I call my channel. So here's what I've been working on this time around. I am planning a video on Xenoblade 3, which was intended to be a video on Xenoblade 1 and X, but then 3 came out and shit changed. I'm doing a video on the best kids game on the Switch, I'm hunting down more Gundam games and may revisit old ones, and I wrote a song. Your cute bitch overlord has been busy in and outside of this godforsaken website, but y'all have been amazing the entire time, leaving comments and subscribing, and I will bless your efforts. Love you cute bitches. And now that that's out the way, let's get the fuck into the best Gundam trilogy of all time somewhat. And as per usual, it ain't clickbait somewhat. So sit back, relax, allow your dick to teleport into your hands, and let's get it. So here's the fucking game plan. You listening? Good, because you need to listen close. These are the games that introduced me to Gundam as a concept. More specifically, Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2 and 3, or as I will now call them, the Nasty Gundam. So there is heavy bias and also a lot of retrospect. There is no, and I mean no, objective truths you will get from this video. These opinions are all mine and they will stay mine until the end credit rolls. If you're looking for a super duper pooper scooper analysis of these games, then take your ass to Chris Gildart. I don't know who this is, and I ain't watched these hoes, but from the length alone, individually, he'll probably get you right. Alright, let's talk about this goofy-eye game. The Nasty Gundam,
first time.
Literally the nastiest one. But it's not like you can tell from the intro. It's actually interesting too, because on my Gundam Battle Operation 2 video, which I regret making every single day, someone in the comments took what I said about that game feeling like shit to control and asked what I was expecting from gargantuan-ass robotic suits. And my response was basically, literally everything in this intro. If you're like me starting with the spin-off series, then I don't blame you for a second for thinking Gundam is always like this, because in this particular series of games, it's always portrayed this way. Getting into the game, though, is a little bit plain. You got space, planets, and when you highlight them, they go through heat death. Let's go to official mode and see how they attempt to represent this bombshell of an anime. Okay, so they got me. Can't have a Gundam game without me. Pretty much perfect if I do say so myself, it's what I deserve. And the stats perfectly match my fragility when close to someone. First stop is Odessa. No, not the electronic duo, but the city in Tejas or whatever. The story in this video doesn't matter because bitch, you've seen it. Fed's good, Zeon bad. I say Zeon did nothing wrong. You say seek Zeon in the comments. You already know what it is. It's your boy, repeating jokes. Ooh, that's a good one. Not really, whatever. Okay, first problem. This game has automatically inverted controls just like Gundam Seed Never Ending Tomorrow. When I move my stick left, I don't want my perspective to turn right. Second problem, this game is a bit janky, a little bit clunky, and a bit ugly. It's the first game and the one I didn't grow up with, so I'll cut it some slack since they did fix it in the other games, but right now, on my Nana's Operation Odessa, it's annoying. It's like the game can't really keep up with the moves you want to make. Play it as judo, same damn thing. It just feels slightly like the gentle caress of a trash compactor. Poo-Poo is in this game, and that's always good. She's in all the ones I like. Frabo is here, and she got... Overall, it is a game that functions. I don't plan on saying much about this one anyway, but if I had to give it a number, I'd give it a solid C. The Nasty Gundam 2.
Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
This intro is way better than the first one. I'm so glad that shit is over. Right away, they realized that this kind of Gundam is superior to that slow shit, cause man, they went above and beyond on this one. The production quality is sky high, and I remember the first time watching this as a kid, I thought I was watching Jesus come back, but unfortunately, he was just a permanent pen pal from Uruguay. This game is much prettier to look at too, sporting a new thing in the background, more classy text, and Neptune or whatever. In official mode, you have the same selection of characters, but with the added touch of perfection of being able to play as this masked loser named Char Aznable. Remember him? He gave me that double-decker dome before the 1 Year War, and yes, that's canon. In my head, but does it matter anywhere else? Before I forget, inverted camera is the devil. No one yet has defended this on my internet that I've seen, but just in case you think that is a false statement, then let me be the first to revoke you of your cutie rights. Let's see how this game looks. It looks Okay, not as good as I remember it looking, which basically means I thought I was actually Amuro. I am his cousin after all. But it looks better than the first one by a country mile. And a country mile is pretty damn long, ain't it? Although I swear it looked more detailed than this, I can let it slide. Because where the fuck did all these balls come from? Rubbing all up on me and shit. Yeah, there is way more enemies on screen than the first one. And it's way more satisfying to kill shit since there's always fodder shoulder width apart from you. It's a hoot and maybe even a holler. The moveset on Zaku 2 isn't amazing, but it's better than unseasoned mixed saltine over there. Overall, good intro to the game. Let's see the next level. Oh, okay, now I remember. It was Gelgoog all double cheeked up on a fucking Thursday. Depending on the lighting and other shit like that, your suits can look really good, and Gelgoog is no exception here. He's shiny, detailed, and the moveset is really cute, letting you pick up these irrelevant fucks and throw them into more irrelevant fucks. Lala is here, couldn't begin to tell you why. I was too busy tabbing out and buying a figure of her. As is probably obvious at this point, my inner child was wetting the bed again. This environment is so beautiful, and the fog is ever so delicately placed on the scene to truly make this a believable scenario. From my memory, the other areas are also like this, having lovingly crafted areas that really show the scale of the mobile suits, but also not making the suits feel big and clunky. Even the older suits like Gelgoog. So yes, I'll give this one my patent-pending perfect rating with no drawbacks. Hopefully the third game is just as nostalgic, cause if it is, then baby, I got some bias for you. The Nasty Gundam
3 big balls. Look like we playing tennis. He got a big dick. I think it's named Dennis.
Now, from what I remember, this game made a lot of changes. I was actually waiting for this one to come out, and I watched a couple of reviews about it from two people. The Scullo guy, which seems like a dead channel now, I hope he's doing well, and Zeitgeist Reviews. And he played a big part in my decision to get this game back then. Of course, this game was full price back then compared to the second game, which I got in a 20 or less bin. Was it worth it though? Bitch, I thought so. But I mean like today. Yes bitch, I think so. First things first, and this is all for me and me alone, and if you guys agree, but Into the World is worth the price tag alone. The vibes are just concrete. I remembered this song and all of its versions being super nostalgic, and hearing them again in game after so long, it was really great, okay? My inner child is thriving, bitch. The game also looks much cooler now. They went for semi-cell shading, semi-realistic graphics this time around instead of closer to realistic textures, and it really brings out the anime in this anime game. Every suit looks cute. It gets my cute bitch stamp of approval, and that's really hard to give out, trust me. Best girl in this game out of the characters I have unlocked to see is Tifa, pre-7th Heaven, looking a little different and having an extra F in her name, which makes her name stand for "This is Final Fantasy, actually." And that's true, cause Koichi told me, you can ask him. He also told me that her last name was Pickle. I don't make the rules, I just follow them. On to the gameplay. For my 700th first time playing this game, I went with Banazher Lynx. Fun fact, I used to call him Bang Her Lynx. I was a kid and you still are one, don't judge me. In game, this game looks genuinely fantastic. It's stylized and in some cases jaw-dropping. This game can handle a stupid amount of stuff happening on screen. The action is much more fast-paced, even with the suits that have less than stellar movesets. Alongside all of that, the game does not disappoint with the amount of enemies on screen either. While there isn't a whole lot like in the second game, since the action is faster, it doesn't feel like much of a loss in that area. Overall, I really like it, and seeing the evolution of the gameplay one after another really puts into perspective how these games were made, which leads right into, let's look at these dumbass games again so I can extend the video and talk about other shit. Nasty Gundam 1 wasn't great, but it damn sure wasn't good either. Bitch was a fast clunker, like how do you even do that? I'm glad I didn't grow up with it, cause then nostalgia would have fooled me into thinking it was underrated when it was really just under. Sorry if you do like this game, I truly am, but that's just how I feel. And it's actually great that y'all liked it, cause y'all enabled the creation of two much better than it games that I got to play instead. And for that, I thank you for hyping mid. Nasty Gundam 2 makes me squeal. I love it. I think it's genuinely so good for a sequel. It kept the scale of the first and made it good. It's damn near a remake tier creation. The controls are more solid, there's more options for combat, and it looks like the number 69. At my funeral, if they don't play the Pilot Select theme, then I'll come back to life and politely tell them to get their shit together and swiftly die again because, ew, who lives anymore? Nasty Gundam 3 was a perfect way to shake it up Chicago. And speaking of Chicago, this game flicks my bean. It's incredibly fast-paced. They shook up the foundation of the second game and made it a more linear experience, and the more drab areas of the first and second game are basically covered in glitter and Astroglide. And what about Nasty Gundam Reborn? Simple, really. I don't own it anymore because it's not physical and it's not downloaded anymore. Plus, this was a video about the games I grew up with. Reborn was not one of them. I barely played it, and honestly, while I do see that everyone loves it and wants it to return to modern day consoles, all I can say is, me too, so I can make more content. Just emulate it. Sorry, I only tend to emulate games I own physically or digitally. Don't worry, if it's meant to be, I'll Edo Tensei this series on my channel, but for now, the big three needs rankings. Gundam 2 is only slightly better than the third game. The first game is, and that was the best Gundam trilogy of all time, somewhat. Sorry for the wait, life sucks, blah blah blah, more videos coming soon. Make sure you join the Discord for updates and foolishness. Stay hydrated, and most importantly, stay cute. You lovely Xenoblade 3 enjoyers, unless you aren't, then get on that fucking hell or I'll spark you in your jaw, man.